Hey folks, so today we're going to start talking about supply and demand. Demand is the chapter 4 of your textbook, and we're going to be covering most of what is in section 1 today. Now, demand is the willingness to buy a good or service and the ability to pay for it. So demand has no meaning if people want something but can't pay for it. They need to have the ability to pay for it in order to be included in our concept of demand. The law of demand states that when prices go down, quantity demanded increases, and then when prices go up, the quantity demanded decreases. So if the price of iPhones went way down, people would buy more of them. The quantity demanded would increase. Similarly, if they went way up, if they're over $600 or something crazy like that, then nobody would want to buy them. It wouldn't be worth it. And so the quantity demanded would decrease. Now, a demand schedule is a listing of how much of an item an individual is willing to purchase at each price. And your demand schedule might be different from somebody else's demand schedule. You might be willing to purchase something at a higher price than somebody else. And then we have the market demand schedule, which is a listing of how much of an item all consumers are willing to purchase at each price. And this is something that businesses will look at when they're deciding how to price an item that they're selling. So here we have a demand schedule for CDs, and at the cost of $5, the demand is 4 CDs. When the price goes up to $7, the demand drops down to 3 CDs, and then as the price continues to increase, the number of CDs demanded continues to go down until we get to $15 and $17. People are only going to buy 1 CD. And so there are several different factors that affect demand. One of those is the law of diminishing marginal utility, which states that the marginal benefit of using each additional unit of a product during a given period will decline. And so we've already talked about that in class a little bit. If you buy popcorn, that first bag of popcorn is going to taste pretty good. By the 5th bag, though, you're not enjoying it as much anymore. The utility has gone down. Your benefit from using it has declined. And then we have the income effect, which is the change in the amount that consumers will buy because the purchasing power of their income changes. And so if you look at this on a market level, if you raise the minimum wage, that will affect demand because it will give people more purchasing power and overall will increase people's ability to buy things, which increases demand. And then we have the substitution effect, which is a change in the amount that consumers will buy because they buy substitute goods instead. And a good example of this is Coke and Pepsi. They're functionally pretty much the same thing. And so when the price of one goes up, the people will buy another. And then within demand, we have change in quantity demanded, which is an increase or decrease in the amount demanded because of a change in price. And this is something that we see along a demand curve. And so on a demand curve, on our graph, the quantity is on the x-axis, the price is on the y-axis, and you can see that as the price goes down, the quantity demanded increases. And now this is fairly different from a change in demand overall. Change in demand occurs when something prompts consumers to buy different amounts at every price. And so the entire demand curve shifts. At every price, the demand is different. So this is demand 1, and these are the prices and the quantity demanded at each point on demand 1. And then demand 2 represents an increase in demand. People are willing to pay more are willing to buy more at every price. And then we can also have the demand curve go down. And so again, this is change in demand, which is significantly different from change in quantity demanded. And we're going to be talking about what factors affect demand in the next video. But thanks you guys for listening along. Please come to class prepared with questions and such, and I will see you soon.